If the Chiefs go into the season with the cornerback group they currently have, they might be doomed. I expect them to draft someone at some point. Also, they've been linked to two veterans who are all Pro Bowl caliber. Stephon Gilmore, who played for the Patriots and Panthers, and then James Bradberry from the Giants. We'll start with Gilmore first. Sam, we both agree he's not what he used to be, but he's still good, and there's value in still good. First, what do you think about their interest in him? Second, what do you think a contract would look like? Do you think he's a good fit? Just anything Stephon Gilmore, just let me hear all of it.
I don't know what Stephon Gilmore is going to get for a contract. I have not looked into any rumors or anything that points to what his numbers will look like for contract, but I do know that Stephon Gilmore in 2019 was easily one of the best defensive players in the league. That is very true. And he won Defensive Player of the Year. And then 2020 and 2021, he was still fine, but played less than 1,000 combined snaps. It was that injury, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Stephon Gilmore has not been playing a lot in the last couple of years. He played like 600 snaps in 2020 and about 300 snaps in 2021. So that is troubling, but I still have to believe that Stephon Gilmore is a good football player because in those snaps, he was still good. So I would be very interested in Stephon Gilmore. I think that'd be a great piece to go with. Fenton and Snead hopefully is the duo that they pair with him, because Fenton deserves to play. Fenton played too well last year to not be a starter. Bradberry would be fantastic as well. Bradberry is definitely one of interest. His Panthers days and his Giants days, that is a great cornerback. It would cost $15 million, but I think it could be worth it to take that 1 year and then see if you could get him for less. I assume you could, but maybe not. But Bradberry is a good corner. He's been a good corner for years. Same with Gilmore. I think both of those would be very interesting, even if they would cost a little bit in both or either draft compensation for Bradberry's sake or money wise for both of them. If we don't go with either, then I would be interested in DeAndre Baker starting. I have been a bigger advocate for DeAndre Baker than most. And I feel that in the games that he has actually played a decent amount of snaps, he's played quite well. It's actually the games where the games that he struggled in, he's actually played less snaps than the games he's done really well in. So I'm wondering if what it is with Baker is you give him the role, he gets in a groove, he has a good game. Whereas if you just throw him in there mid-game or whatever, that's when he starts, he's not there and stuff happens. But yeah, I think Baker would be an interesting option. I want to see him at least as the fourth guy.
Yeah, he's had a weird arc because he broke his leg and then everyone was excited in training camp. He was ready to go, all that stuff preseason. Never really, he was a healthy scratch a lot of the time last season. He just didn't get a lot of snaps, much at all. With the group they have, Snead obviously is a stud. Fenton, I don't get people who don't like Rashad Fenton. There's no reason to not like him. The only reason to not like him is because he isn't a star. He has been a solid player for his entire career, ever since 2019. Considering the value and the 6th round pick, he has been fantastic. He has been very good, all things considered. And if you add a Stephon Gilmore, who's long in the tooth, but still has the length, strength, physicality, decent enough athleticism to play in this system, meaning the Chiefs system, you have Bradberry, who I think very highly of him. He is a very good player. Even in a down year last year, he was still pretty freaking good. You mentioned the 13, 15 million, whatever it is that the Giants would have to have the Chiefs absorb. New York doesn't really have the salary cap space. That's kind of why they need to get rid of him to absorb that. So it would probably have to come with a contract extension, almost certainly. I'd think he's going to be 29. Gilmore, obviously on the wrong side of 30 now. It would be going against what the Chiefs have historically done to get either of them, whether it be giving Gilmore a decent contract or trading for Bradberry, then extending him. But it might be a necessary move. I don't know. I personally am in the camp of you draft a cornerback either way, whether it's round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. But you probably bring someone in too. And I don't know if it's Gilmore. I don't know if it's Bradberry. I don't know if it's someone else on the market. I don't know if you draft maybe a Daxton Hill at 29 or 30 and then have him be your nickel cornerback. I mean, they have options. They have choices, but at a certain point, you have to make those decisions. Like if they go into the draft with a glaring hole at cornerback 2, that's going to be rough. And the Chiefs aren't really known for that. So whatever they do is probably going to be out of character. And that's kind of the interesting part, I think.